What's up, HyperFast Nation? In this episode, we are taking a deep dive into alternative sources of income outside of selling your next home. This is an episode you don't want to miss. Stand by. If you are a real estate agent, a lot of people's goals are to someday be able to get income without selling a home. So how do you do it? I've had this conversation with hundreds of real estate agents. Most of them tell me they are going to get there through investing in real estate. Very few actually do, though. So a lot of people say they're going to get there. Very few, I think like less than 1 out of 100, I'd say, are actually on the path to get there. So, getting there through investing in real estate, you're going to have a couple of options. You can do long-term rentals, you can do short-term rentals, you can do multifamily. If your plan is to do, long-term rentals, short-term rentals, where you're going out buying a home or a duplex or something like that, and getting it for rent, and you're doing it through generating income from sales, it's going to be hard, right? Because at the end of the day, you got to sell enough homes to pay your taxes, pay for your lifestyle, and then what's ever left over, you invest into real estate. Okay. If typically on these, you're going to get, if it's a long-term rental, you're going to get like a 6% cap rate if you're lucky, right? So if you invest $1 million, right? If you invest $1 million and you own it outright, okay, so you maximize cash flow, that's going to generate you $60,000 a year. Most people, they want more than $5,000 of monthly income, which is what $60,000 a year is. Most people want more than that. Typically, when I'm talking to people, they want like somewhere between 10 to 15 or so is kind of the sweet spot. So to get there, they're going to have $2 to $3 million after-tax dollars, after paying living expenses, to invest. That's just a long period of time to get there. To get to $2 to $3 million. That's if you do the math on the taxes, living expenses, to invest $3 million, right? You probably are going to have to get to like $7 million, right? Then pay taxes on it, then pay your cost of living, and then maybe you'll have $3 million. So how long would it take you to generate $7 million in net income through real estate sales? Most real estate agents, are lucky if they get to 100, 200,000 a year. Very, very, very few. We're talking like top 1% of top 1% actually net $1 million. Now, there's a lot of teams out there that are generating over $1 million gross, and they talk about that. But a lot of them have very, 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 very thin margins. So their net is like hundreds of thousands of dollars less. So very, very difficult to get there. If you're like a good solo agent, super profitable, maybe you're at 250, a small efficient team, maybe 500, a large efficient team, maybe $1 million. So, we're talking at the short end, seven years for people to get there. If they're running a really high efficient, really, well-run big team. If they're a great solo agent, you're talking 30 years if you do the math on it. So long time to get there. Now, you can decrease the amount that you need to get there. Obviously, if the return goes up, if the cap rate goes up, if you're, if you run short-term rentals, you could probably double it. Okay. So you could probably double that rate. That's still $1.5 million. So we're talking many, many years at best. And then if you go the short-term route, you've got a choice. You've either got to put the time into managing it or building the management systems, or hire a management team, which is going to like decrease your profits to run it, right? And if you go those first routes where you're running it or you build the systems, that is gonna take time away from your sales business. So tough dilemma there. Now, the other way you can maybe get there quicker is if you syndicate multifamily. You do that though, you're pooling investors together. They're getting the lion's share of the profit. You're kind of just making a little bit on the margins, right? This is like the Grant Cardone model. Now that can work if you do it at super scale. The average real estate agent isn't going to have the amount of capital to do what I just described. They're not going to have the ability to go out and raise that much. It's a lot to get there on multifamily, to get to that 10, 15K a month. Like you're gonna have to raise millions of dollars and make good investments and then manage it. So that's going to be hard as well. So I've done all of these things, by the way. I've done the long-term rental, the short-term rental. I've syndicated deals, and after going through it myself and trying all different things, and by the way, having more time because Carrie has been the primary manager on the real estate team, doing an amazing job with the Carrie Scholl real estate team. After going through all of that, I came to the conclusion that the fastest, bestest, and I know bestest isn't a word, but the fastest, bestest way to do this is through the revenue share program at eXp Realty. Now, when you move your business over to eXp Realty, unless you are independently owned or at a flat fee broker that doesn't really offer much in the way of benefits, you're saving a ton of money on your existing business, like enough for some people to invest an extra 50, 100K or more per year. But on top of that, they have this revenue share program where if you introduce the company to other people, they join because of you, name you as your sponsor. The company shares some of that revenue with you. Now, they do this up to 7 levels down, depending on how many people you personally sponsor that are selling homes. And if you win the game at this, and I'm not talking at a high level, but if you're able to sponsor people, like once a month or even once every other month at that level for a few years, and then you let it grow, there's been plenty of examples historically where that has gotten to those monthly levels that I described earlier. So I have found, after studying people big and small, influencers, non-influencers, small agents, big agents, doing all these deals myself, the best way to build income that's there when you're not personally selling homes, if you're in the real estate business and if you're willing to work at it, is through this revenue share program. And you do it without upfront capital. You do it without ongoing expenses. You do it without liability. Gross equals net. There's just nothing like it. Like, what other business does your gross income equal your net income? So it's an amazing opportunity. And by the way, when you spread this to other people, you're offering them a better system. So you're doing good. You are being ethical, and it's fun helping to change people's lives. So if after hearing this, you're interested in learning more about joining me and Carrie Scholl at eXp, I would love to talk with you. I would be honored to sponsor you. I'd be honored to go over the benefits with you of having a lower cap, being able to invest that extra money, building revenue share, getting coaching, support, and mentoring from Carrie and myself. Having you as a true partner. If that is interesting to you, please send me a text at 703-638-4393. Again, that's 703-638-4393. I would be honored to talk to you about joining me at eXp. Now, everyone else, thank you for watching the show. It's been my pleasure. Make sure you tune in next time. Check us out on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. Leave us a review. I'll see you soon.